What's going on, guys? Welcome to a random video on this channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Pixel and Pixel XL. Now, as someone that uses the Nexus 6, obviously I would be more interested in the Pixel XL phone. But we have to talk about these reviews of these phones because a lot of people are saying various things about these phones. Some people are even saying that they're the best phones on the market. Now, if you're comparing this to the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, there is no comparison. First of all, visually speaking, the iPhone 7 Plus has the better design, even the iPhone 7. Now, if you compare it to the Pixel and Pixel XL, we start with the back of the phone. It just looks weird. Now, you can say that's my personal opinion, but most people understand this, that design looks odd and that it's not acceptable to most Android users. Now, if we look at some of these other reviews, these are the typical reviews of smartphones. By the way, I purposely ignored the reviews of the Nexus 6 before I purchased the phone because I didn't really care about what anyone else had to say about the phone besides myself. Once I purchased the phone, I was like, this phone is really fantastic, and I saw some of the other reviews out there. Of course, I'm going to notice the negativity that people had with the phone, but for me personally, I really like the phone. So this is the same kind of situation. Not everyone's going to agree, but if you start talking about the platform and you start talking about these kind of things with the Pixel and Pixel XL and Android, I have to question who you are and what kind of experience you have with Android, or even about talking about platforms. Doesn't mean you have to go work with Google, just means you have to have some kind of experience with Android and an interest. A lot of these people don't, and it's a typical thing that you see in this tech industry. The perfect example are reviewers, tech websites, the whole thing, talking about this phone and saying it's great in one article or video and then saying the problems with it in another video or article. The reason why they do this is because of advertising. They want you guys to watch those reviews. They want to keep saying stuff about the phone because a lot of people are paying attention to those devices. So of course everyone's talking about the Pixel and Pixel XL. I'm talking about it too. But I also talk about these things as a web developer who's interested in Android. I'm talking about the platform itself. That means you might install something like Android Studio to your computer and you actually look at Android and get an idea of how you develop an application with Android. So it's a fantastic IDE. Now, I explained this before on this channel. When you're interested in Android, just because you go to a store, you purchase an Android device, whether it's a Galaxy phone or any other phone on the market, does not necessarily mean you're qualified to be talking about Android. When Google themselves tries to promote these things by promoting your articles about their phone. Now, I just want to say this. I understand what Google is trying to do. They want to be like Apple. But Google's not Apple. And they really shouldn't have copied the design of the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. That's a joke. And when you guys out there are talking about Android, the platform, you're talking about it as a consumer. Don't get it twisted. You're telling me it's a good thing that Verizon has a locked bootloader? No, you have no idea what that means for someone like yourself because you don't root your phones. All you do is create some reviews about some phones and you say, hey guys, this is a great phone over here. It's the Pixel and Pixel XL. Let me create another video and talk about the problems. Let me go create another video and say how fantastic it is. You guys are ridiculous. Either you're an absolute maniac, and there's a lot of them out there, you're all maniacs, or you're doing this on purpose because you want to get more advertising out there because that's what you guys do. Don't you realize why people that use Android are not happy with the situation with these Pixel phones? First of all, going from a Nexus phone to a Pixel phone, it was just a rebranding. Same situation where Google created Alphabet. Did you guys not realize they were doing that? Now, if you looked at the previous situation with the Nexus phones, a lot of people like the Nexus phones, but they were still not more popular than the iPhone. I said I like Android better than iOS, that's a fact. But if we're talking about sales, the iPhone is going to have more sales than the Pixel and Pixel XL, and the Pixel and Pixel XL are not going to be the most popular Android device for one reason. Quality. So don't try to get it twisted and say everyone's out there buying the Pixel and Pixel XL. And if you think I'm angry, I am, because when I see this crap from Google, I expect a lot more. You see this garbage going on with Verizon. Verizon's not doing good things out there. They're data capping all over the place. And you guys are like, well, this is a good idea for Google. They're trying to be like Apple. What a fantastic thing they're doing. What is wrong with you guys? It's either ignorance or it's intentional because you guys know what's going on and you don't want to say these things about Google. You're worried about getting invited to the next Google event. And when you talk about Apple, same situation. Because these same stupid tech websites that have absolutely no integrity, and yes, I'm looking at you, The Verge, if we want to be honest about this situation, we're going to be honest about Google. What they're doing with the Pixel and Pixel XL is an absolute mistake. And the sales are going to prove it, or the lack thereof. When you look at the Pixel and Pixel XL, don't get it confused with the other phones on the market. Have you noticed that TouchWiz are on the Galaxy phones? Do you realize that's a completely different experience that you would get with the stock version of Android? Do you realize that? Do you have any interest in Android to know that? Because when you guys talk about these things and even compare those two phones, it's night and day. Night and day, you morons. You're morons. I'm looking right in the camera. Tech websites out there, The Verge, even CNET. I don't care how many articles you create where one article says it's a disaster, another article says how fantastic the phone is. That's because you just want everyone to arrive to your website to read that trash. And that's exactly what it is. Let's look at The Verge. How is it that you guys happen to hire someone who's the founding editor at your company that was working at Apple at the same time? How did that happen? You didn't know about it, and then you had to post some nonsense on your website, and you said, hey guys, we found out someone was working at Apple that also worked for our company at the same time. But don't worry about it. They were being honest about all those Apple products they talked about. Get out of here, The Verge! You guys are a joke! This video turned into a rant. This was really not supposed to be a rant, but most of the videos that you see about the Pixel and Pixel XL, it's the typical reviews of these phones, even the videos themselves. You see someone out there and you're like, this phone is great. The Pixel and Pixel XL is the phone that you should buy. Isn't Android amazing? Android is great. Google is an interesting company. Don't you think Google is an interesting company? Next week I'm going to talk about the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus. Isn't Apple doing great things also? All of these phones are great. There's not one better phone than the other because I use all the phones that I talk about. So really, this video turned into a rant. We're going to be honest about these things. I would like to know what you guys think. You post your comments down below. And of course, if you like this video, give a thumbs up. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.